All right, what we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be taking a look at how to align your gun. In this version 4 software, the dry fire people have put a special effort into making the alignment shot and then shooting the patterning board much simpler than we had in version 3. But just like in version 3, the information that gets saved when you take your alignment shot gets saved in the shooter's information table. So you have to make sure that when you're ready to take your shot, you have the right shooter's information table active. So we're going to go up here to the shooter's window. Notice it's labeled shooter. Here's the shooter's window. We're going to click the arrowhead on the right hand side, and I'm going to pick myself, Bob Ridge, and put that into the shooter's window. Now once I put Bob Ridge into this window, over in the shotgun window over here, it will put all of Bob Ridge's shotguns that he has created. So I'm going to drop down and look in here, and I'm going to select my trap gun. So now at this time I know that when I get the alignment shot taken, it will be stored in relation to Bob Ridge's trap gun. So I'm going to now go to the word align, the alignment button. I'm going to click on that, and it opens up the muzzle alignment panel. And we're going to read the muzzle alignment panel so that you understand before we go any farther what we're going to be doing. So it starts up here on the top. Make sure the muzzle insert is pushed firmly and squarely into the muzzle of your shotgun. That's not so significant here in the United States because we typically use the barrel anchor and the laser holder method, which is much more secure so it isn't moving around in the barrel of your gun. Then it goes on to give you some instructions. Take a shot at the laser dot on the wall. Use the bead on the barrel to cover the dot on the wall, both vertically and horizontally. Do not add any lead and do not float the target. Shoot as many times as you wish. Only your last shot will be registered. Notice here in the picture that we have, basically we're looking down the barrel of a gun. This is the rib right here, which is out of focus, and we have the bead in focus. Notice how the bead is directly in the center of the laser dot on the wall, and this is critical. If you're a trap shooter, please do not float this target. It needs to be covered. You're taking a very serious rifle shot in order to align your gun so that we can ensure that your gun indoors is shooting exactly like your gun shoots outdoors. Then, going on to the third paragraph, it says click the OK button if you are confident your alignment shot was accurate, or click the check button to confirm accurate alignment. So after taking your first alignment shot, and as it said up here in paragraph 2, you can do several of them one after the other, but however many you do, the last one that you shot is the only one we're going to be looking at. Once you've taken that shot, you have a choice of simply, without doing anything else, just simply say, that's good enough, I'm going to click OK and start shooting. I don't suggest you do that. I think you need to have a little bit better idea whether that alignment shot was a decent alignment shot or not. And if that's the case, what you're going to end up doing is simply clicking on the check button after your shot instead of the OK button, and it'll take us to another panel, which I'll show you in just a minute, which will give you an idea of whether your alignment shot was good or indifferent. Now, the final thing that it says here is if the laser turns off for safety reasons, just shoot at the approximate location of the dot to turn it back on again. And since I've been talking for this length of time, of course the 12 or 14 second timer has turned the laser off, so I can't see anything on the wall right at the moment. So first I'm going to take my gun and I'm going to shoot in that vicinity, and that turns the laser on. Now I'm going to very seriously cover the dot on the wall, both left and right, up and down, and pull the trigger. And that was the second shot. And now, at this point is when I have the choice. Do I just want to say OK and go on and start shooting, or do I want to check it? Well, personally, I always check it, so I'm going to click check. Now, let's read what this one is all about. It starts in the top saying, confirm your muzzle insert is accurately aligned. And again, with our barrel anchor and so forth, that isn't anything you're going to need to do. Take a shot at the laser dot on the wall. Use the bead on the barrel to cover the dot on the wall, both vertically and horizontally. Do not add any lead nor float the target. Notice it's the same exact instructions that we saw on the previous panel. So you're going to cover that visible laser dot on the wall just like the previous picture showed us. So both times you do it identical. That's why you don't float the first target, because if you floated the first target, you'd have to float the second target, and you aren't going to get those as accurate as covering it. And there's also other problems that it would create if you do it. So please just don't do it. The third paragraph then says, when accurately aligned and aimed, your shot will appear in the center of the target on this dialog box. Click the OK button to continue using dry fire. So what we're going to be looking for over here is when I shoot at this, shoot the alignment shot again, basically a red dot smaller than this blue dot is going to appear inside, hopefully inside the blue dot. Now, if it's perfectly centered in the blue dot, it means you made a perfect alignment shot. If, however, it's not quite in the center of the blue dot, then whatever direction that it shows up, that's the direction that your alignment shot is off. Now, another thing that I'm going to talk about right now is when you see that red dot, which again is smaller than this blue dot, if the outer edge of the red dot is touching any portion of the outer edge of the blue dot, in reality your gun is 2 inches off in that direction at 40 yards. So now the third paragraph says, if your shot doesn't appear in the center of the target, click the realign button to repeat the alignment process. So this is your choice. Once you see the red dot inside the blue, you'll be the one who decides whether that alignment shot was good enough for you or whether you want it better. If it's not good enough, you simply come down to click realign. It takes you back to the first panel that we looked at, and you do it over again, and then you come back and check it over here. So all of that's very simple. If the laser turns off for any safety reasons, just shoot at the approximate location of the dot to turn it back on. And again, that's my situation since I've been talking once again. Now I'm going to turn the laser back on, and then I'm going to, as accurately as I can, shoot the laser dot. Okay? Now, when I shot the laser dot, notice that there was a blue dot, a red dot that appeared way over here to the side. Well, that's simply because I was that inaccurate when I turned it back on. And now, when I'm shooting at the center of the dot on the wall, this is what I get. Notice here in the very center, here's my red dot. It clearly is the outer edge of the red is not touching the outer edge of the blue, so that means that my gun is accurate to less than 2 inches. It's probably in this case off by about 1 inch. So I'm just trying to give you some ideas of when you might want to realign. I wouldn't want to realign this particular one because it's down to probably less than 1 inch. And so that is the end of the alignment process, and it goes pretty well. So now I simply come over and click OK, and I'm done. Now Bob Ridge's trap gun is now aligned. Now let's just quickly go back through that process all over again without me talking so much, just to show you how quickly you can do it. I have myself in the shooter's window. I've selected my trap gun. I click on Align. The laser is on the wall automatically. I mount my gun, and as perfectly as I can, I shoot the center of the dot. I cover that dot perfectly. I now want to check it. I come down and I click on Check. The laser is back on the wall again right now. I now mount my gun and shoot again. And when I shoot again, here's what I see on the screen. That's just about a perfect alignment shot. And I'm done. I can click OK. Isn't that simple? That's all there is to the aligning process now. And that process can be done any time that you want to. Obviously, you want to do it before you begin shooting. But if during the middle of, for instance, a trap round, for some reason you feel very uncomfortable about your gun doesn't seem to be shooting right, without even leaving the program, you can just simply at that point come up here, put yourself in the shooter's window, put your trap gun up here again, hit the alignment button, and this time you're not going to go ahead and shoot the alignment dot again. You simply are going to click check to take you to this screen, and now on this screen you take a shot and bingo, there it comes, and you take a look at it and you see, oh yeah, this is probably about 2.5 to 3 inches off. What would you do? You'd click the realign button. You would then go back, and you would go ahead and shoot the alignment shot over again. You would then test it by simply clicking on check. And now we have a well-aligned gun again. So I think that's fairly simple. I hope this video helps you to understand how to do the alignment. And I'm simply going to click OK. And basically that's going to be the end of this segment.